Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. We just got back from the river. We went with a few friends and it was so much fun. Two of our friends have a little girl who's in between Owen and the girl's age. So they just had the best time playing together because usually when we go to the river, it's just us with like Andrew's family or maybe a few of our friends. We've never really taken friends with kids before. And so it was really fun. It felt like we were I don't know why I feel funny saying this. It felt like we were adults. Like, okay, we're bringing out friends with kids. Like, it felt like a family, like a friend's family trip, if that makes sense. But we had a really good time. We are definitely tired. Whenever we go to the river, it's definitely tiring because it's a long drive home. It took us like 4 hours to get back, and everybody was tired in the car. So today we're just getting back to normal. So here's the deal. For today's video, I filmed in my last vlog, like I ended up just rambling about Enneagram types, and it was so long that I cut it out of my video, but I still wanted to post it. I'm so fascinated by them. I love them so much. Let me know in the comments what Enneagram type you are. Also, let me know what type your spouse is because I love seeing like the dynamic between the two of them. But in short, if you guys aren't familiar with Enneagram types, it's a number. There's types 1 through 9, and it's not like astrology where you're just like given a sign. You look at all of these numbers and see what you relate to. And I don't really like the test. I wouldn't recommend taking the test. You can totally take it. It wasn't that accurate for me. What I really like doing is going through different Instagram pages and seeing like they list out different types. I'll put a couple Instagram pages down below that I love to follow, but it'll be like how you are on Christmas morning. And then it goes type 1 through 9. And it'll be a phrase for each one. And you like, usually one is going to resonate with you more than the others. And then what I do is like go through a bunch of these, and over time you'll see a common thread between one or two numbers. Another thing is numbers can have wings. So sometimes you won't necessarily relate to like one number strongly, but you can be mostly one number and then a wing of something else. What I really like is that it helps me with Andrew because I know his type, and also just with close friends. When you know what type your friends are or your husband is, it explains a lot. So like Andrew's a type 8, and a lot of the times when they're communicating with you, it comes across kind of abrasive and like harsh, but in their head, they sound like so even keel and normal. And I had so many of you guys reach out to me saying that you are the same as Andrew and you completely relate to that. Like to you, it seems like, oh my gosh, why are you yelling at me? But to them, they totally don't. They're like Snow White in their own head. So what's nice about that though is, say we are talking about something and I feel like he's saying something that I'm like getting maybe offended by, or like it's hurting my feelings. I know now that typically 8s, like nothing is personal. When they are talking about something, it is literally just the facts, and they are trying to improve a situation, make it better, and like to help you. It is in no way trying to hurt your feelings. So with an 8, you can really not be that sensitive. Luckily, I'm not that sensitive, but if you are, it definitely could hurt your feelings a lot. So I hope you guys enjoy this little ramble, and if you do, let me know in the comments and I can talk more about this and maybe more about the dynamic between my Enneagram type, which is 1, and Andrew's Enneagram type 8, and how like the two of us work together. And I could talk more about this for so long. I literally forced my friends to talk about this with me this weekend at the river. I was like, two of our friends there, they never talk about Enneagrams with us before, but I was like, let's figure out what your Enneagram type is. And so we did kind of nail it down, but I just love it. It's so fascinating to me. So anyways, let's go to the clip. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, I really want to talk to you guys about Enneagrams. I just go down rabbit holes of Enneagram pages, and after just talking to you guys about milk for so long, it just made me realize like how crazy I am about certain things. So I post on my stories about like how to figure out what Enneagram type you are. I like them because if you know like your significant other's Enneagram or like your best friend's Enneagram, it really helps you understand why they do the things that they do. There were certain things I used to be maybe annoyed of Andrew or didn't understand, and now it just makes so much more sense because you can see like, oh, okay, this is why they do those things. You know, it's nothing to do with you. It's just how they function. So I'm a 1, and a 1, they call it the perfectionist. I don't really see myself as a perfectionist, but I like things done a certain way. And I have very high standards for everything. So like I have a high standard for our kids, a high standard for Andrew. So every Enneagram number has a core fear and a core like desire in life. And so a 1's core desire is they want to be seen as a good person. So the worst thing to them is the worst thing to me is somebody looking at me and thinking that I'm a bad person, because to me, like what I value in life is being good. So, and every number is so different than that. They value different things. It's a circle, the Enneagram chart. So each number goes towards another number in health and another number in stress. So for me, for 1s, in health, I go towards a 7. And a 7 is like, we call it and a 7. They want to have fun. They just don't want to like stress about anything. They're just ready to have a good time, hang out with people, very positive, like just wanting to do exciting things. So that is so me, like when we go on trips or on vacation, because I just let my guard down and I'm just like, let's just have a good time. You know, because I feel all week long, I'm like, gotta do this, gotta do this. The to-do list is never ending. Another thing about 1s, so they have an inner critic in their head all the time. So that milk chat is what made me think about this. They're always like second guessing things that they do and trying to think if there's a better way to do something, like always wanting to improve upon what they're doing. And when 1s are in stress, they go towards a 4. And I don't know a ton about 4s, but I do relate to that because when I go into stress, I kind of shut off, like shut down, and I'm kind of like down on myself and I'm just like, oh, this is the worst. This isn't gonna work. It's over. Like, so a 2 is the helper. So they are always like baking somebody cookies, always looking to help somebody else, and they can't help themselves but help other people. And they tend to overexert themselves to everybody, so they can get kind of drained from that because they're always trying to help others. And it can backfire because sometimes others don't need it or they don't value it or recognize it. So 2s can feel maybe taken advantage of because they're like, look at all these things I'm doing to help all of you and I'm getting nothing in return. Okay, a 3 is more like work driven. So they value success. Their worst fear in life is to be a failure, to not achieve something great. They are very much focused on external appearances, and they want people to perceive them a certain way. They like to do everything so it all looks really, really good. Competitive in nature, but very like people friendly. A lot of them are pretty extroverted. A 4, again, I don't know a ton about a 4, but from what I have seen and read, a 4 is like more of the artsy type, very like creative and does things their own way, very individualistic. Kind of feels like people don't understand them in a sense. A 5 is very much so like facts driven, likes to watch documentaries all the time, into studying and learning, and always like wants a new task, not a new task, a new hobby, like always wanting to do new things and become like a master at everything. Very introspective. A 6 is kind of like a paranoid type, always stressed about like the worst case scenario. They're the type of person you want, like if the world's ending, you want to have a 6 by your side. They are prepared. They're also very loyal, like very family oriented, very loyal to their inner circle. It's hard for them to let people in because again, they are, they don't want to trust you right off the bat, but once they do, like they're ride or die for you. A 7 is very spontaneous, wants to have a good time, wants to be around their friends all the time. It was funny, one of the videos I was watching, it was showing all the types and how they are decorating for Christmas. And I related to the one, obviously, because it was like making the tree perfect and everything, but I also like hardcore related to the 7. She opened the bag of the box of all her ornaments and was like, I'm over this. I don't want any of these ornaments this year. I'm done with the red. I want a whole new color scheme. Let's go to Target. And that is so me. So it's weird. Like I definitely can get like that where I just like want to change it all. And like I get very restless in things and will just like go buy a whole new thing or whatever. But okay. And 8 is what Andrew is. Kind of likes to be the leader, the one in charge. A lot of 8s are managers, CEOs. They are the boss. Like that's their kind of, they can be intimidating to a lot of people, but also deep down they have a sensitive side. They just don't really show it unless you're very close to them. So they're just really good at like, you know, running things and seeing how things can be done super effective. They are like highly motivated, but also like task oriented. And if something is going maybe not the most efficient way, then they're going to change that. And they're going to like say, you need to do this differently. They're very blunt and it can be a little bit off-putting to a lot of people who are more sensitive. Luckily, I am not sensitive. I'm not a sensitive person. I don't take things very personally. So that's why Andrew and I really work well together. We're both very realistic and what you see is what you get. And so we're just like, we balance each other out. And then last is a 9. And a 9 is the peacemaker. They like everything to go smoothly. They avoid conflict at all costs. They love most laying on the couch in a comfy blanket and socks and watching a Netflix show, reading a book, listening to music. They are very introverted. They get stressed out being around a lot of people. They like to be in their comfort zone. And also 9s have a really hard time making a decision. They're very indecisive. That's like a very like strong point of a 9 is kind of wishy-washy where it's like, is that the right, should I do this? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do this. And it's funny because I used to think I was kind of more of a 9, but I feel like Andrew has made me less like that. But I used to be super indecisive. But I think that's just like the inner critic in me, like second guessing everything. But it's super fascinating to me if you guys are into personality stuff and all that. There's a couple Instagram pages that I love to follow. I did not know I talked this long about Enneagrams, but I could go on forever. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, let me know if you want more Enneagram talk in the comments. I will definitely do that. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye. Even if the sky is falling